Well, hello everyone, and today we are going to be doing the south node of the moon known as Ketu in the 8th house. And what happens when this shadow planet, this eccentric planet, comes into the 8th house? Well, what is 8th house? 8th house is a house of death and rebirth, situations related to death and rebirth. And it's also known as sudden events, because death and birth is what? Especially death, sudden event. Like you suddenly just die. You know, it's not like the God calls you and the Grim Reaper calls you, hey, today 5 o'clock, I'm going to come and pick you up, all right? So get your affairs ready. It's not like that. Death just comes, you know, so you just got to be prepared for it. And 8th house also represents like sudden events of accidents, or suddenly you win some money, sudden inheritance. It's your joint assets with your spouse. It is your in-laws and the family of the in-laws. And 8th house is also the house of occult and secrecy. Any kind of secrets that you hold, that you're able to hold. And it also represents taxes, because it is the 11th from the 10th house. 10th house represents government. 11th from the 10th is the 8th house. So gain of the government comes through taxes. So it shows taxes as well. So Ketu comes here. And you know, Ketu is isolation. It's separation of material world from the spiritual world. It is spirituality. It is a planet that holds no boundaries. It is quite eccentric. You know, it's always chasing for the truth than the illusion, which Rahu chases. So when Ketu is in the 8th, it's in the 8th house, but it's not 8th, it's Ketu. So when Ketu is in the 8th house, it shows that in your previous life, you benefited a lot from other people's resources. And you didn't have to really work on by yourself to create your wealth and resources. Like in your past life, your wife or husband provided you enough wealth. The in-laws provided you enough wealth. Or you had a lot of help through banks and through loans by other people to help you. Well, you fulfilled that part of your life cycles in this universe, but now universe says, no, now let's switch up roles. Now in this life, you're not going to benefit from those things. You're going to have to create your own wealth. Why? Because Rahu is in the 2nd house of wealth, hoarded wealth. And Rahu's obsession is now, I want to hoard the wealth. And the frustration here is that as much as these people like to create their own wealth, they also feel like, dude, I need some help. I need some assistant. You know, my wife or husband are not there for me to help me make joint assets. But hopefully now you'll have a better picture, is that that's not your karmic cycle. Your karmic cycle is to be that self-made man, is to create your own wealth and hoard it your own way. You know, your in-laws are not going to be there to help you as much. Your in-laws are kind of going to be quite manipulative towards you. And this is not their fault. It's just that you are destined to come into that environment. So you make your own wealth. And your wife, whether as much as she wants to create joint assets with you, it'll be quite hard. Unless Jupiter is aspecting, or Jupiter is looking at that 8th house. Or if a Ketu is sitting with the 8th house lord. So that's where it helps you create some assets. But usually Ketu will always try to separate you from not getting any help or support from other people. Because you really have to mature yourself up to create your own wealth. Okay. And here Ketu in the house of secrecy and occult has tremendous, I wouldn't say tremendous interest in the occult. It's just that they know it exists as a part of life. And the occult knowledge comes to them easily. And that's because Rahu's obsession with family lineage, family history, brings that side about. So these people, so let's say if you take one of the very good examples of Ketu in the 8th house, of one of the best astrologer out there. I mean, like I told you, K.N. Rao and this guy is pretty much the same, and that's B.V. Raman. B.V. Raman is one of the most accomplished astrologers in India, if not the world. I mean, especially in Moscow and Russia, they know him. In the Eastern, like the European countries, they know B.V. Raman like that. You know, and he was a Vedic astrologer who took his family lineage, his great-grandfather, his own father, they were all Jyotish, Vedic astrologers, and he took on that, and he became one of the best ones because Ketu has this ability to just attain secret knowledge, secret powers. And it has the ability to just foresee the future. And here's the thing about Ketu. Why people with Ketu in the 8th house can not only make good occultist, but actually make some of the good, honest politicians. Why? Because Ketu says that I'm holding all the secret, but literally, what is a secret? A secret is just information that people don't know. And Ketu feels like, no, everybody should know this information. Everybody should know secrets about our aliens, about our governments dealing with this part. You know, kind of like John F. Kennedy was revealing that our government is involved in secret societies and all these secret negotiation. It should not be. It should be transparent. So Ketu tries to make everything transparent. And this is where B.V. Raman brought about all these hidden knowledge that Jyotishis, the Vedic astrologers in India, used to hold it tight. Even to only selective students, they used to tell this knowledge. That, okay, when this happens, you know, this occurs. Where most of the other students would have to take the long way to learn. But B.V. Raman came out and said, no, everybody should know this. So he revealed a lot of secrets regarding astrology. And then K.N. Rao followed into the same path. I have not looked at K.N. Rao's chart. I don't know. I have to find that out from my uncle in India. I'm curious to look at it, but I know B.V. Raman's chart. Another good example, J. Krishnamurti and David Bohm. Two people who actually talked about living in now, living in the present moment, before even Eckhart Tolle. You know, I think Rumi was the first one to do it thousands of years ago, to talk about living in the present moment. But these two got into the depths of life, got into the secrets that we hold within, and they just made it simple. So with this position, it makes a natural philosopher and counselor. Like, these people deal with the sudden events. See, 8th house is about sudden events. So people with the Ketu in the 8th house say, it's okay to have sudden events. It's a part of life. And I understand it. So these people are the ones who just, they don't seem to, you know, get affected by sudden changes. In their early life, they go through sudden changes. And they realize that, okay, I'm going through all these sudden changes. What are they? And when they question it, they realize it's just a part of life. So one good thing about this placement is that it protects the native from sudden events. Like, I don't care, you can go under a truck and die. Not die. I mean, you can go under a truck and not die. Like, I don't know if you watch this YouTube videos of these twins in accident on the road. They purposely freaking run into the a truck to die because they're high on meth or bath salts or something. So it's a video on YouTube. And those are the situations, like, they go, even if they want to put themselves into these sudden accidents, they just walked away. This girl went under the truck, rotated on the tire, and they're like, oh, she's dead, she's gone. And within 5 minutes, she is throwing off the authorities and running away with her twin. It's an interesting video to watch, but that's how it is. Like, these people are kind of protected from the accidents and sudden events because the universe is here to tell them, look, you need to go through these sudden events to let people know who are scared of sudden events, to tell them, hey, it's a part of life, but this is how you deal with it. So great counselors, great astrologers, they have great healing ability. They have the ability to motivate the crowd, to heal people, to have these powers that are gifted by God and that are hidden, yet they bring it out. They're like, look, nothing needs to be secret. I am Clark Kent, but here, look, I'm really Superman. Okay, these are my powers, and let me share them with you. So they have the secret ability to tap into things, to foresee things without too much effort. They're able to go into that astral world and know, because remember, Ketu wants to seek the truth. And in the 8th house has the secrets, where Ketu is like, all right, where do I start? Okay, but the only thing is, it's just that the joint assets part is the negative part. The Ketu in the eighth house, will make you experience these sudden events. You'll get into repeated accidents. You'll get into all sorts of ups and downs in finance. But after your midlife, you realize, bring it on. But this is one of the important placement of Ketu in terms of receiving moksha, in terms of going through the other loka, which is I think 3 billion light years above North Pole. And that's because Ketu is in one of the Moksha houses. The Moksha houses are 8th house, 12th house and 4th house. And not only because he's in the 8th house, because Ketu's aspect is on all the Moksha houses, houses of enlightenment. And through these houses, actually, it is said that these people gain fame. But to be really honest with you, the fame comes in because Rahu is in the 2nd house, aspecting the 10th house. Anytime I told you, Rahu's in the 8th, 10th house, 7th house, 5th house, or he aspects the 7th or 10th house, it brings about fame. And B.V. Raman became famous regarding astrology. J. Krishnamurti became famous regarding philosophy, and David Bohm and many other people, became famous about it. But let's talk about the aspects on the 12th and 4th house. So when Ketu looks at the 12th house, obviously him knowing the secrets, his own secret, his own ability to know the occult secrets and secret of its own, it seeks the secrets that is not known to him or her. And these people want to know. Then they kind of become passionate about knowing the occult secrets, because 12th house is a house of other dimension, spirituality, foreign lands. So it takes these people to foreign lands in search of the truth, in search of enlightenment. And 12th house is also the house of charity, of donation, losses. So what Ketu does here, it actually isolates them from the losses and from giving out just charity all on its own. These people are they give themselves to something only if they get to know the truth. So you can see these people spending money on knowing the occult, knowing the spirituality, but only if they know something, not just they just give it out. Unless other planetary placement are there, then it just balances that energy out, and Ketu looks at the 2nd house of family, of, family lineage. So what it does, since Rahu is there being obsessed, Ketu says, I really don't care about that, and again, Rahu's obsession and Ketu's isolation becomes that tug of war again, which is hard to explain. That Ketu sometimes wants you to not know what the hell your family is about, and then Rahu then obsessive. So see, everybody is eccentric in some way. It just, once you know their houses, you'll know what they're eccentric about, that back and forth tug of war. Then Ketu looks at the 4th house of mother's nourishment, family or home. Not family, your home environment, your childhood, and it becomes quite isolated and separated. Like your mother will nourish you as much as she can, but you'll still might question it. Like, why wasn't my mother there to support me? Why did I feel so isolated? So those things comes into question. They are quite separated from the family environment, because the Ketu is like, really wants them to just spread the truth. So for spiritual life, it's a very good placement. Through joint assets, it's not a very good placement. But to gain wealth while counseling other people, it's a great position. You can see bankers with these positions. You can, see people who are writers of the occult, or writers of, these mystical knowledge or secret knowledge are seen from this. Government agents can seen from this. Those secret spies can, but usually not a spy, because these spies usually just give out information, kind of like William Cooper, who just gave out everything about how we know about the aliens, So that's kind of what it does. Like, these people really want to tell people about what they know. All right. So guys, this was my analysis of Ketu in the 8th house. If you're new to my channel, subscribe above because I'm going to be revealing more secrets of Ketu in the next house. And if you want to know where your Ketu and south node of the moon is placed, check out my link below and check out my book there, Astrology at the Speed of Light. And when you get the book, I will send you a link to look at your own chart. Otherwise, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.